Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with me. Hopefully, I'm coming through loud and clear. Hopefully, the 4K 120 FPS camera is working okay, and you can see me. No, I'm kidding, of course, I'm not on camera. I'm going to be animating today, actually, well, cleaning up really, but we're actually going to change what my original intention was going to be, which was going to be animating a Diglett for this Pokemon cartoon. This is actually the last Pokemon in the whole cartoon. Basically, the cartoon is animated now. The final Pokemon that needs to be created, it doesn't need, we don't even need it in the shot. There's a shot that has about 30 Pokemon in it, and we don't need, we don't need any more, but there's like a gap at the bottom of the corner. The bottom left corner of the screen. There's a little gap, and I thought, yeah, maybe I want to go and put a Dugtrio there. Let me show you in just a moment what I'm talking about. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hello, Fun Cubes. Hello, Alien Draw. Hello, Jade. Hey, Jade, long time no see. Hello to Jacob Tucker, Terranium, Anton, Mr. Matimation. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, so basically this Pokemon cartoon is done. I'm just doing finishing touches now, little tweaks, little bits here and there. And we're adding a character that really is just going to fill some space at the bottom of the screen. So, I'm only going to be streaming today for an hour, just going to be in and out, and that's it. So, let's get to work. I'll show you basically what my original intention was for this character, which was just going to be this, basically. He appears like this. A little bit of rough animation from a long time ago. Boop. Like, that's it. And I know that looks like a long shot, that looks like a lot of animation, but it's going to be very, very choppy. It's going to be just as simple as it looks. I'm really just going to draw lumps of dirt and have them appear one by one. I may just draw one lump of dirt and then kind of find a way to like cleverly cut them out. If I can do that with like masking or something. Anyway, so yeah, pop, like that. So it's not a Dugtrio at the moment. It's a Diglett, which is this little guy. So it's not like it's going to be, a whole lot of drawing effort involved or anything. We're just going to make it a trio, essentially, of these little things, as opposed to one, because I just thought it's a bit bigger, it's a bit more interesting. For some reason, because I'm kind of lazy, all the Pokemon you really see in the cartoon are like the, what do you call it, like the first evolutions. Like that's, I keep going there and thinking of that, and I thought it'd be more interesting if we showed, something that was slightly more evolved, and it's kind of easy to draw, so we'll make it a Dugtrio, as opposed to a Diglett. So, hey, Aya! Aya is actually an animator in the chat. Yeah, Avhamri, they worked on this cartoon with me. In fact, I think you actually got started on working on this little Diglett. It's going to be a Dugtrio next, but yeah, you actually got started on working on it, and we didn't finish that particular moment, and so I'm going to finish it today on the live stream, and it's going to be nice and easy for me to do because it's a super easy character to draw. So, hello, Storktoons. Storktoons also worked on this cartoon. Sven is a good animator and a good buddy of mine, as is Aya, as are many people in the chat. Mr. Matimation has an animation channel. Terranium does art. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are animators. Big old bunch of nerds, basically. That's what you guys are. No, I'm kidding, of course. I would be the king of the nerds if that was an accusation I was leveling against any of you. Hello, TFM. TFM says, good afternoon, Harry. I'm really pleased to hear your dulcet tones. Thank you. I don't know if they're very dulcet, but in the Smiling Friends trailer. Yeah, no, I can't really talk to you. It's not I can't talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, I have a little bit of involvement with that show. And if you watch the show, you'll see that involvement, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. We'll see. So yeah, let's get drawing Dugtrio, and I'm going to bring up some reference pictures for me to draw him, because I know he's very easy to draw, but I don't want to screw it up. That looks like a pretty good one. So I'm seeing that he kind of tends to arrange in a similar pattern like this. And I'm thinking, am I going to bother doing that? Like, I kind of want my Dugtrio to be more like, let me just draw quickly the kind of thing I'm imagining here. I was kind of going to draw like one big one and two little ones, but I guess I'm looking at the pictures now. There is some variety. Yeah, there is some variety, but they're not that radically different in size. They're basically all the same size. It's a little bit of variety. So maybe I could do something like this, maybe instead. So a little bit of variety, but it's not like we have one giant, epic 600-pound Diglett there at the back. So I'm going to try to create basically... Oh, and he's angry. Is he angry? He looks angry in a lot of the frames. Like, I guess we'll do an angry Dugtrio, which to me isn't quite as fun. But if it's a little bit more accurate, I'm trying to go for kind of accuracy. I want it to basically look like it dug. Basically look like it did in the cartoon. So we'll go for that. And I'll make sure that we get like a kind of a good clean frame to begin building the rest of the animation. He's really just going to pop up and then pop back down again. It's the mud and the dirt and stuff we've got to animate around him as he appears. That has a lot of effort required. I think that's going to be more of a pain in the butt. Who knows, maybe I can find an easy way to do it. Hello as well to Mika Fra in the chat, Michael, Joel Mayer as well, and Malgon, I don't know how you say your name, but thank you for being here. They say, got you playing while I do some saucy digital painting on my iPad. Try not to get too much sauce on your iPad. Hello, Dak Geek Boy. Mr. Matimation says, animation channel seems to be a bit of a stretch these days. I think my channel is more of a sit around and hope something animated eventually happens. Well, hey, you're doing useful tutorials. Mr. Matimation put out a useful tutorial yesterday showing me some things I didn't know about what you can do in After Effects with lighting. So let's get a drawing done here, and I'm going to make this line art here a little bit easier for me to see. Set it to gray, but I've got to do it twice because that's the way the anime is these days. Alright, so I'm going to draw this in Flash today because the character is easy enough that I don't think I need to have Toon Boom's drawing tools at my disposal, but we want to get our line to be the right thickness. So something like, I don't know, 4. No, it's a bit too thick. Maybe a 3. Yeah, I think a 3 will do the trick. So they're kind of flat on top. They're not quite as rounded there as I've drawn them. And they're not quite as long. Hang on. That maybe it's pretty good. And then I'm gonna make this thing look grumpy like that. I know this is what you've come for, really high quality drawing. Really state-of-the-art, excellent drawing. It's the ease that attracted me to this character, because it doesn't oh, that nose looks like crap though. It's we've already got a lot of really complicated Pokemon in the cartoon that have a lot of detail, like Machamp or Machoke or Machamp. I think it might be Machamp. He was a tricky one. There's a Snorlax, there's an Onix that's fully animated, there's Magikarp. There's lots of characters in the cartoon that are tough to draw that have been included. So this is a little vacation for me. This is an easy one for me, okay? So I guess we could just copy and paste that little thing. I don't like them looking in different directions. I want them all looking in the same direction. I think that's kind of funnier. So we'll draw another one over here that's not quite as big. Like that. Hang on now, something. That's okay. I'll just squash and skew that line a little bit there. There you go. There we go. I know you guys are looking at this and thinking, wow, that's some great drawing. I am so impressed. I apologize if anybody is bowled over, if anyone falls off their chair. Hey, Bowser the dog. Hello, Rusty Brusher. Hello, Sam Gay. Geranium says, perfect opportunity to do some anime cheating. I agree. This is going to be filled with anime cheats. I think that's basically what we're doing. I mean, every time there's like an anime type character in this cartoon, it's animated really choppy, deliberately to save some time. Hey, Harry Ashfield. Harry Ashfield says, oh, it was a trio of Dougs in the thumbnail. It took me longer than... Yeah. There we go. That's my great joke.
Hey, Doug Funny.
All right. So another one of these, a big lad, a big chunky lad. Dig, Dag, and Dog. Just a big fat boy right at the back. All right. Like, kind of don't want to make the features too much bigger on this one, because I kind of feel like the smallness of the features makes him look a bit bigger. I don't know if that's accurate at all. Guys, that line. This is I don't normally do my cleanup in Flash. See, it's so hard to get a nice straight line in Flash. Look at all these noses. They're all totally different shapes. It's tough. I don't normally use Flash. See, I usually use Toon Boom these days. I think I've gotten worse in Flash. Does that look like him? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. I feel like this one at the back should maybe we'll bring this one closer together like that. Don't want to screw up that grey line art there, but I know we will. I feel like that's a little bit more accurate. And if anyone wants to do some backseat directing and correct my proportions on Dugtrio, they're more than welcome, but I probably won't heed them because I just want to get this thing done. I set up the live stream because I'm trying to live stream basically every day that I can is what I'm going to try and do. I can't tomorrow because I'm going out on a date, not like a lady date, just with some friends. I'm going out tomorrow, so I can't tomorrow, but I thought, okay, today I can, so I should live stream. And over the next hour, I've just started feeling kind of a bit bad, like not Omicron variant bad, but just a bit kind of a bit sluggish, a bit warm, and a bit tired. And I was really thinking about hanging it up and not doing the live stream, but that's why I set it. I what do you call it? I scheduled it so I would make myself come and work. So hope you appreciate my grand sacrifice, everyone. All right. Terranium says, you don't have to draw the dirt between the 3 Dugtrio heads if you just squish the heads to be touching each other. That's true. That's true. Squish them together. That's a good point. That's a good point, Terranium. Well considered. And now we can just kind of draw one ring of dirt. That's close enough. That's close enough. And the remaining piece of the Dugtrio puzzle is on getting that dirt around them, because that's sort of what makes the Dugtrio look like the Dugtrio. It's all the dirt around its butt. So I don't really know. I guess I'm going to kind of use sort of what they've got for dirt here. Something like this. Not really soft. Like, it's not going to, look like really soft and doughy. I kind of want it to have a chunkiness to it. Yeah. It's a chunky dirt. Like so. Like a little stray piece there. And I'll just draw a few lines to denote chunkification. I'll just dial up the chunkification ray and zap the artwork directly. So yeah, okay, it's just like big blobs of sort of dirt like that. Just add a little bit here. Okay, so that's fine. That's absolutely fine. We can get rid of that layer behind it. The only thing I really want to do now is come in with an obnoxious color and do some shading separation. So we're gonna shade our little guy. Nope. We want the bright color. We're gonna do this so we can erase it later on. We're gonna add some shadow here on one side of the Dugtrio, and I'm not gonna shade and highlight the nose because frankly that's too much work. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna just highlight the nose. Okay, we're just gonna do the highlight, very simple. Hey, the Aaron Munch and Immortal Demon. Immortal Demon says, "Boo! Did I get you? You did. You terrified me." Okay. So just gonna go in, throw some cheeky little highlights on that nose, like that. Because that's what I think about. I always think about that little highlight. And people didn't know originally. They thought, is it a tooth in its mouth? Like, is it one peg tooth and a big open red mouth? But no, foolish of them to ask that, because obviously it didn't have a line around it and it would be floating in the middle of the mouth if that was the case. No, it is in fact a little highlight in the on the nose. So I'm just gonna also do the same thing here for the dirt. Make sure we've got sort of nice areas of shading for the dirt, and I'll clean up my line art in a minute here, like that. Okay, and I put little X's in there. They help to remind me what areas were intended for the dark, and what areas were intended for the light. So when I come to do my coloring, I don't forget what parts are shaded and what parts are highlighted. So there we go. That's kind of our master frame. That's not really a term that's ever used in animation, but I just coined it there. That's basically the frame we're going to kind of build our drawings around. It's such a simple character. I'm not really going to bother cleaning it up. Roughing it out and cleaning up. I'm just going to basically go in with cleanup. So what I want to do is I want to have him pop up out of the ground, because this is, if I just go back to the rough here that we were showing earlier, it's basically he appears, boom, like that. It was just a Diglett, but we've changed it, and then he disappears off into a little kind of leaves a little trail of dirt there popping out of the ground. So he comes in, boof, and then disappears like that. So we want that, but with Dugtrio. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe staggering the three heads popping up at different times, so we get a little bit of visual variety. It's still going to be very choppy because that's the style of the animation that we're kind of imitating. So we'll make it choppy still, but yeah, I want him to kind of pop up at a different rate. So maybe the big head first and then the little heads, or yeah, the big head first and then the little heads. Okay. Team Vizza says, I have a question. At the risk of sounding like a jerk, whatever happened to that Kilgar's code you were working on a year or two ago? I didn't finish it. You're not a jerk. You're asking a very valid question. I didn't finish it yet. The important word is yet. It will be finished. Okay? All right. So let's get back onto Dugtrio. I was worried there. I thought, oh no, a jerk question. Here it comes. No, that's not jerky at all. I'm not denying that I don't finish cartoons in a punctual way. That's absolutely fine to call me out on. All right, so I'm gonna have Dugtrio pop up, but to begin with, I'm just gonna have like that. I'm gonna have his eyes closed and his nose up, like he's kind of leading with his nose, right? Actually, let's have the nose kind of elongated a little bit. Like there's a little bit of squash and stretch happening. In fact, we can just do that with his whole body. Just using the squash. See, he's such a simple character. This is why I wanted to animate him, because I figured it would be pretty easy to do. A lot harder on a live stream because I'm going to be stopping and chatting every few seconds, but that's sort of why it works. Okay, so something like this, where he's like, boom. And breaking out of the ground. And the rocks are kind of falling away. there's no consistency to these rocks. Usually when I'm animating stuff that's kind of, you know, natural, like a load of fur on a character maybe, or, I don't know, rocks breaking, or a load of grass or debris or something. There's just, every frame it's slightly different. There's no consistency to it. Okay, so we're going to have that shadow put back on him there. And big highlight on his nose. And we're going to be putting some of that shading back there on the rocks. Okay. So boom, like that. He's going to be coming up, and then he's going to be joined by his two little buddies, his little pals. And then I'll kind of stagger it so that he comes up, and then they come up afterwards. So hopefully that'll work. Okay. All right. Anton says, for anyone who's used Animate and Toon Boom, how different is the learning curve between both software? Well, I've used both, Anton, but I really only understand how to animate in Animate. That's how I can kind of do all my compiling, my camera moves. I like the symbol system and working in that. I actually think it's very easy to understand, and it's very logical. I don't really understand Toon Boom, but I do understand that the drawing tools are far better. So it's much more fun for me to work in in Animate to organize everything and kind of keep track of stuff. But then I prefer working in Toon Boom to do cleanup and drawing. So, you know. All right, sorry about my giant crackly plastic bottle there, guys. I have a big bottle of drink that is a bit too close to the microphone. What can I say? Blame Joyce, you know? It's probably her fault. Okay, so now I'm going to have him kind of... I'm going to have the other little fellas come and join him. And they're going to come up kind of at the same speed. And, ooh, some cruddy looking drawing there, Harry. Come on. All right, so they're going to join him like that. But this time he's going to be down like that, okay? So when he goes down, they go up. So kind of boing. You know, I don't love that. I don't love that. Yeah, I don't love that. It's like he's bouncing them or something. Okay, all right. What we're gonna do is something a little. Let's figure something out that's a little bit different. How about this? How about this? How about we take out that third guy? We don't need him. We don't want him. He's a burden, and we go back to. We sort of do it this way. Doing. Bloop. Maybe that way. So it's sort of 1, 2, 3. I'm figuring out as I go along. Doing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe. I'm not sold on that either, though. But not sold on that either. So with the rocks, I'm pretty much just going to have them overshoot slightly where they end up, so that we can have them kind of snap back into their final position, and it won't look too bad. I'm going to try to really match the amount of lines here, though, because I don't want to, well, now that they're really getting close, like when you're drawing a lot of stuff, like I was saying earlier, you know, like tree bark or fur or whatever, you can kind of frame to frame, you can really change up the details if there are a lot of them and no one's going to notice, unless the movement gets really subtle. And the closer that they are together, the more that you're going to need to kind of draw things consistently. So So now the rocks are kind of not moving so much anymore. Gonna have to sort of use the same amount of detail on every frame, pretty much. Although I will say, drawing stuff like smoke and things where you've got to just use a lot of wobbly lines, it's really easy to get lazy and you just start kind of drawing very badly because your hand starts to hurt and stuff. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I will just have all three come out, or like, hang on. Do I prefer it like this? Let's figure this out. I'll have to use the undo tool in a minute, but boing. Yeah, maybe that's fine. Maybe that's just fine. All right, I'm gonna change it. I don't like the 1, 2, 3 thing because it just feels like it's too much. It's too much motion. I don't know. I can't explain it. I feel like it's a little bit too much, and a little bit too much work as well. So I'm gonna have the front two pop up, but then I think if we have the back one pop up a little bit afterwards, it'll create a nice kind of feeling. I could be totally wrong about this. This is a little bit trial and error, but it's such a kind of easy character that it feels we can just about get away with it. And it'll still look like Dugtrio at the end of the day. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue if we kind of fudge it a little bit. Although this is annoying. Now I gotta erase this, which I should have done before I copied and pasted him in, but that's on me. Yeah, I think having the eyes go down on that back one is gonna... Yeah, there we go. That's okay. Bling. But we won't have them settle yet. We'll have the... we'll still have a little bit of bounce and overshoot and stuff happen. So now it's adding in those color separations. So something like that. Like that. And the highlights. And we'll see if we can get this colored before the end of the stream today. We're only doing it for half an hour, but we might be able to get this thing colored as it's kind of easy. Not a whole lot of detail. Like that. And like that. Alright. So, boing. Okay, I'm going to add another little thing. I want to just have a little bit of the ground kind of breaking there. I don't know how it'll look, but I might just put some stretch marks. And it comes up like... Oh, you know what? We should have, as he comes up, we should have a little bit of... Yeah, there you go. A few little pieces of crud flying away. Maybe the crud can be lower there, so it's more like that. Alright, I'm happy enough with that. And so now we're going to have a little bit more overshoot. So he comes up like that. And now it's the final kind of position. And I think the final position anyway. So so we don't have to keep drawing the mud and the ground over and over again. I'm just going to copy and paste it. It's going to add a smooth, which is you go shape and smooth. And it sort of adds like, that was too much. Let's add a little bit more. Sort of adds a bit of a boil to it. If you see there between the two frames, there's a little bit of difference, but it sort of looks like it's been redrawn as opposed to just copied and pasted and it's completely stiff. So I think it'll do the trick. Let me see what people are saying in the chat. Hello, Glass Cake. Everyone, if you want to watch really funny short animations, go and check out Glass Cake's channel. He's the best. And he's a good guy too. Harry Ashfield says, I don't know if it's remotely true. Why would the internet lie? But did anyone hear when it went around saying it's not Diglett's nose and it is an open mouth? We were talking about this earlier. It's got to be an open mouth. Sorry, it's got to be a nose, excuse me, because the teeth would have an outline, wouldn't they? And they wouldn't be like to the side of the mouth there. And sometimes the highlight is kind of in the middle of the nose, which would be a floating tooth. Unless the original sprite art that was intending that it was a mouth and it was supposed to be like a little mole. Oh, maybe that's where the tooth thing came from, because it would be like a little mole tooth, you know? Because it's kind of, you know, it digs around. Yeah, I kind of get that, actually. Maybe it was the original sprite art that was misinterpreted, but, you know, this drawing here, 100%, that's a highlight on the nose and not a tooth. So that's what we're going with. We're going with the more kind of established way that it looks in the animated series and the new games and stuff. Can anyone hear my stomach rumbling? I haven't had lunch. I hope it's not being picked up by the microphone, because it sounds like Reagan from The Exorcist. Just okay. Bounce. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of these guys and redraw them. It was the dirt that I didn't want to redraw because I'm getting sick of it. Can we just sort of add like a little tiny squeeze or something? No, it doesn't hurt. That's not good. Okay, so gonna have old Doug like that. So a little bit. Basically, we're just having this guy overshoot, the little ones overshoot as well. And it could actually be moved down a little bit. Still a little bit too high there. And we'll move the eyes and nose down. Let's just trace it. Do a trace in place and shove them down like so. You know, maybe the dirt does need to be redrawn. That doesn't. I don't know if that looks good copied and pasted like that. And then on this guy, he's gone down on this frame. I think I'll have him pop up slightly at the end here as he opens his eyes, like that. There you go. Okay, so bounce. That's what I wanted, that kind of effect of the sort of layered thing where they're moving at different, you know, they're parallel to each other, but they're moving kind of in different directions. But yeah, I think it's the mud does need to be redrawn. Bring. It's gonna have to be choppier than that though, or sorry, at least faster than that. All right, let me see. So like that. Okay, it's not great, but this is so the amount of Pokemon in this shot is. Let me see. Let me see if I can remember them all. So in this shot we have a Wigglytuff, a Squirtle, a Nidoran, a Farfetch'd, a Pidgey, a Zubat, a gold thing that I can't remember the name of, a Snorlax, a Starmie or a Staryu, a Voltorb, jeez, a Rattata, an Onyx. This is one shot again, guys. I can't. There must be more. A Geodude. Okay, that's probably it. But there's tons of Pokemon in this shot, and they're all like running around and doing crazy things. So that's why we're not spending a ton of time on this guy. He's really small. He's going to basically occupy about that size on the screen, you know, just the bottom left. He just comes up, boom, like that, and then bring, and then sort of moves off. So that's actually not too bad. I will redraw the dirt. Do I need to? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna actually take a 2-second bathroom break, and I'll be right back. But I am coming back, I promise. See you in a second. Hopefully you weren't enjoying that too much. I'm back. Blame it on the big vat of beverage I have next to me. It's making me want to go to the toilet. Okay, so I'm gonna have him kind of arrive now, which I guess I'll do on a separate layer. And he's arriving in clods of dirt form. That's how we're doing it. So what I'm thinking we'll do for this, I'm gonna try and do it in a really efficient way. Let's just turn that off. Basically, I'm just going to draw like this if I can. Piles of dirt. That's my big aim for the rest of this live stream. If you've only just joined us, I apologize. I'm going to be drawing piles of dirt for the next half hour. That's what we're up to now. I'm going to be drawing piles of dirt and trying to get this to look good. It's going to take some finagling, but I am a master finagler, so I have my finagling degree at hand. If anyone doubts my qualifications, it's going to be some good finagling. All right, so basically, what I'm thinking of doing is hang on, boom, like that. Picking a color scheme for the dirt, which is, I want it to be kind of nice looking, so maybe like a purpley dirt, not like just a boring brown. And we can afford to shade it kind of nicely, so we'll have little areas of shading kind of on it, so it looks nice and almost 8-bit, because it's a video game world. You know, Pokemon characters, they live in kind of a video gamey world, so we're gonna make it look like 8-bit chunky clods of retro dirt. So what I'm thinking is we'll pick a color. Let me see. The actual color of the grass is a little bit blue. It's like a blue-green. So it's not. It's sort of like that. So I'm just going to use that as the default. Okay, that's not quite going to be the color, but I'll get to picking the color of my dirt in a minute. But I quickly want to read out. We have a super chat from my good buddy Comic Tropes. Thank you very much, Chris, for the super chat. And Comic Tropes says, what would the tastiest Pokemon be? That's actually an interesting question, because to kind of get some reference for this cartoon, I went and watched some of the old show, which I used to watch as a kid. And it's weird, right? They have food in the Pokemon world. They show at some point they're eating fish, and it's not a Pokemon, it's just like a regular fish. And I'm sure you hear birds. There's like birds chirping and stuff. And it's not a bird going Pidgey, Pidgey, you know, or Spearow. It's just a regular bird. So they definitely have regular animals. I guess they're only for eating. Are they only for eating in the Pokemon world? Because whenever it's, you know, like a farm laboring animal or a pet, they'll make it a Pokemon. But when people are eating, I think there is a reference to eating Magikarp in the cartoon, and I'm sure in the recent cartoons they're much more careful about not putting in regular animals. But there do seem to at least be some regular animals, at least fish and birds and bugs and small things in the cartoon, which I think is like something they don't do anymore. But in terms of like actual tasty Pokemon, What do I want to eat? I guess Taurus, just a big bull, or maybe Slowpoke, because he kind of looks like a big marshmallow. He's pink and he's fat. I think I'd eat him. I'd eat any of them. It's just very important that we eat any living thing, and animals preferably. But you know, if in a desperate situation, a Pokemon would do. Okay, so I want the dirt to feel kind of cold, and not. I said purple earlier, but I mean more like just sort of not super obvious and like brown. I want it to sort of feel a little bit. That's probably a little bit too blue. Let's make it a little bit more gray. And the nice thing is we can do a color replace later on, and we can fix this. If we don't like the colors that we've gone with, we can just do color replace, which is easy. I can show you how to do that if you guys don't know how to do that. But I'm thinking something like that. That may be too cold, but you can always color replace. Okay, so boom. So what I was thinking of doing is basically no, haha. Okay, so so this is tough, right? The way that Diglett is going to leave the screen is going to be going away from us, like Douglas, what's his name? Douglas Fairbanks. When he's leaving, it's going to be like this. It pops up and then Now this is easy because I can just draw one long streak of these clods of dirt and then just erase one frame at a time, each little bump, and then that'll create the animation. But this one is, because he's arriving, what I actually have to do is a little bit more work. I have to draw each bit that we kind of cut out, which is kind of annoying. I totally didn't realize that until now. So what I'm thinking is we've got to basically do this. We'll take one frame like that, and then a frame like this, and I will erase. And I've got to make sure that we kind of draw the bit that we're missing, if you see what I mean. So that's not too big of a deal there, but okay. And now that becomes our furthest along kind of version. And now, and then we'll get rid of this big lump here. And that becomes, you know, so I could just draw them all individually and layer them up, but I don't like having too many layers. I like to keep it kind of simple, so we're doing it in a sort of slightly annoying way, but it'll do the trick. And I'm going to try not to do it for every tiny little piece of dirt, because that's just going to take forever. So we'll do like this for this bit. And there you go. There you go. That kind of looks okay as is, actually. No, we'll bring that shading down like that. Okay, so... And then we'll do one more change, which will be getting rid of this piece of dirt here. And then when we kind of play it in order, it'll look like basically just lumps of rock or whatever debris are being disturbed from the ground below. And it kind of creates the impression of a traveling Dugtrio. So... something like that. Like that. So very fast. It's, you know, he's a fast moving Dugtrio, but that kind of thing. And then he's gonna have to like back down in the ground, which I guess actually we could animate, because I don't think like that. And then let me save that. Having him go back in the ground. So let's create sort of him going back, and then we'll try and do the same thing. But it'll be easier when he goes away because each lump of dirt is going to be kind of appearing in front of the one that we're erasing. So we won't have to draw those extra pieces, which was something I hadn't counted on. It just happens like that. All right. Okay. Bonk. And then what I'm going to do here is I think just have him... I'm just going to have him lazily kind of disappear. I'm not going to... Let's get rid of that green. It's throwing me off a little bit. Just going to have him lazily disappear. I don't want to have him sort of animate him sucking back in. Yeah, that's just going to try and keep it easy on myself. And that should be all we really need to see. Just like the dirt getting disturbed outward a little bit, I think, would help. And what I want to see after that is basically, I'll do it in a second. So I'm thinking of we'll get our dirt colors here, our dark one and our light one, and let's color in this old dirty dirt and do that kind of thing with the dirt. There's a reason I'm coloring this now is because I don't want to have to color it twice. So I'm going to copy and paste it without the Dugtrio, and that'll be kind of the leftover ring of dirt after he disappears. Boom. Boom. Like that. And we'll just get rid of... Oh, hang on. Didn't copy. We'll just get rid of the Dugtrio part and then kind of like draw what's left behind, which will be basically the kind of the other side of the ring from the disturbed dirt. Disturbed Dirt sounds like a 2003 new metal band. I would not have listened to them. I wasn't a big new metal kid. I was still listening to kind of like Green Day and stuff back then. Comic Trope says, please animate all Pokemon today. I will. I'll draw all 4 Pokemon that currently exist. And Arne Vase says Mach 1 Underground. Wow, is that how fast Dugtrio is? That's really fast. Bowser the Dog says when he emerges there's a xylophone sound. I mean, I need to talk to my sound designer today, actually, send him an updated version of the cartoon, because it's not like we've changed any timing of anything, but there's just been little things, like there's a Meowth. I didn't even mention the Meowth. There's a Meowth in this shot too that has all these coins falling out of the sky, and that's like a sound effect that we're going to have to include. And I'm not sure, in my animatic that I sent him, it looks like just balls of poop falling out of the sky. He may not have picked up that it was supposed to be coins. He's probably not a big old Pokemon nerd. He probably has a life. So, like, there we go. So I'm just going to draw the kind of the Left Behind Dirt. Left Behind Dirt, another 2003 new metal band. Okay. So there you go. There's just this ring of kind of... There you go. Just lumps of... I wanted to see more more perspective on the ring, because we're sort of looking down on it. So something like that for the left behind. That's just going to be the back side of it, so it doesn't need to look amazing. Don't know, that looks a little bit too weirdly, sort of like too detailed. I might just make it, add some more sharper points there. There you go. I think that looks a little bit more Pokemon-y. Okay, and some shading. I gotta get my shading, which is gonna be more in shadow. Like that. And then this part inside is just going to be totally dark because, you know, that's the hole that he came out of. So, alright, so a little crater there left by the Dugtrio. And that's when he goes. It's kind of looking like that. I'll just clean that up a little bit because it's a bit crappy. But, like I said earlier, I was explaining just how many Pokemon we have in the shot. I don't think people are going to worry too much. There's a lot of characters in this shot. Alright, like that. So, I'm going to just make sure we get kind of the other part of the disturbed dirt just sort of wobbling a little bit as he disappears. And then we gotta make sure it's shaded. So there you go. It's getting very scruffy, but you see what I'm probably trying to go for here. Okay. Here you go. Okay, this is not Adam Phillips stuff. This is just this is just 11th hour, get it done stuff. There you have it. It's going to look weird if he disappears and that there's no sort of movement in the dirt whatsoever. Okay, so we're going to have something happen when he disappears. Let's just turn on this little layer here. Boom. Boom. See? Boom. Like that. Kind of. What I'm thinking could be nice, actually, is I'm going to draw this on another layer in case I don't like it. Sort of thing I might not like, but might only decide later I don't like. So what I'm going to do is have him, boom, appear like that. And then just quickly, whoosh, like this. Very, very easy, okay? Whoosh. I think we can get away with that. Boom. But now we have to have him actually leave the scene with a nice big trail of dirt. So that becomes kind of the last part of the job. Boom. Boom. Oh, no, you know what? You know what? Let's have him go up before he goes down. Come on, Harry. A little bit of anticipation, action, reaction. Boom. Like that. Boom. We can pretty much reuse part of that frame. But I don't like their faces being so high there. In fact, I think we can get away with just cheating it a little bit. I'm gonna delete the one in the back and delete these clods of dirt here, which we don't need. And I'll just do a little bit of copying and pasting here to get that anticipation frame of the Dugtrio going up before he goes down again. And then that'll be the Dugtrio animated, and we can actually color him if people want to see that. The exciting coloring of the Dugtrio, which I know is what people have been looking forward to for a very long time, seeing me do a few bucket fills of a muted brown paint. Hey, thank you for saying I'm doing it fast. Oh, I didn't realize what time it was. Michael there saying that you're going fast. And Terranium says Harry's a professional, so it's not surprising he's fast. Michael's a professional too, so Michael, if Michael's impressed, that's a good sign. I didn't realize it's 5-3. I've been nearly streaming for a whole hour. My gosh. Yeah, 56 minutes. All right. Okay. Can I get this shot done in the entire? Oh my gosh, this is. All right, I really gotta go. I gotta go fast now. I'm gonna try and get this whole thing done before the end of the stream. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to copy and paste like a biatch. Gonna copy and paste and figure out exactly where it's gonna go, something like that, except we don't want these ugly lines here because they're not necessary anymore. I'm gonna get rid of those. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add them in to this bit here. So does that look like Dugtrio is going up? I might just put that on a 2. Thunk. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's quickly color Dugtrio in. We've got some bit of dirt here. We want to color the dirt first. We'll just run through all the dirt and get that over and done with. Let's turn off that layer below. Okay. A little bit of dirt there that pops out when he says hello. There you go. Hey, I know at the very least we'll be able to get Dugtrio to pop up and then disappear again. We won't be able to animate the trail of dirt behind him, but that's not the end of the world. So I'm okay with just doing that. And I'll show you how to do the color replacement, and we'll get rid of these ugly green lines, and then that'll be it. Although I do want a little bit of shading on that dirt. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's just bothering me. There you go. So we'll get this dirt shaded here. Like that. And there you have it. Okay, so that's the dirt colored in. So what I'm gonna do, oh no, hang on. We have an errant frame, a wily uncolored frame. All right, that's good. We'll take that light blue again and go in there. So I'm actually happy with the color of the dirt. I don't think I want to change it. But maybe just time that a bit differently. Boom. 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 It might be better if those lines were just straight down, actually. Like, could even be white or something. Not black, but maybe just on a 2. I can fix that later. They may have looked better in the before times when they were slightly diagonal. All right, so I'm actually happy with the color of the dirt. So I'll still show you how to do the color replace, and I'll do that by, I was going to make Dugtrio a crazy color. See, there's my trio of Dugs from before. But I think we'll just pretty much go with the color he is in the cartoon by lazily swatching the artwork there. I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. Just a little bit, mute it a tiny bit. I'm sort of going with a sort of exaggerated version where he's a little bit more cartoony looking even than he is in the TV show. In terms of the colors, just making them a little bit more sugary and bright. So there we are. That's good for me for the main Dugtrio color. And it's, oh, there's no shading separation there. Damn. Well, we can do it without. We'll just do it here, like that. We'll figure it out with the brush tool. And there we go. And then he goes up again. This is a messy frame. Look at those, just those random bits of bad inking, but we're trying to do this really fast now. All right, and so now it is the shading on him, which I'm gonna make maybe a little bit purpley, like that. It's not perfect, but I'll take it. That's fine with me for Dugtrio. Honestly, it just looks like a big sentient poop coming out of the ground. Big old 3-headed dump. And color behind there. Fix, there's a little gap there I can see, and it's driving me crazy. It's like a thorn in my mind. That's good. That's good. So the last thing I'm going to need to do to have it so that our Dugtrio disappears by the end of the stream is the eyes, which you're going to need a little bit of black. You can sort of see the dirt there through the hill. That's not great, but well, I can fix that after the stream. I'm not going to color the whites of the eyes because you won't even see them. If the background stays white, you won't notice that the white on the nose and the white in the eyes hasn't been colored. So I could save myself 10 seconds there as well. And let me see, the final thing is the nose, which is just like kind of like that, but more red. Like that. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so to get rid of our ugly green construction lines, or sorry, our shading separation lines, I will, forgot to color the eyes there. I'm sure somebody pointed that out, so thank you for that. And there we have it. All right, there's Dugtrio, done in an hour. I slacked for the first half an hour, but then we caught up. So to get rid of your shading separation lines, which are done with the pencil tool, you just identify, do a find and replace, which is edit, find and replace, brings up the find and replace box. Go down to color. You select the color of the shading separation lines. And if you use the pencil tool, they don't have any mask to them, and you can just delete them by replacing them with a 0 opacity color. Doesn't matter what color it is because it'll be 0 opacity. Hit replace all, and then Zambam, they've gone. Zabingo. Abracadabra. That's a different Pokemon, but there you go. Let's just color it because I've left some gaps there that are bothering me. Boom. So there we go. That is our Diglett animated in maybe just over an hour technically, or just under an hour. I'm sure with slacking it was just under an hour. So there he is. Boing, thump. Boing, thump. And what I'm going to do after the stream is boing, shum, da, 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 da. I'm going to animate that little pathway of clods of dirt disappearing out onto the horizon there. So thank you to everybody who came by today. Thank you to Comic Tropes for the super chat. Really appreciate it, guys. Sorry I was kind of flat out there the whole stream. I didn't really take too many questions or chat to you too much, but I had a lot to do, and we managed to get it done just about. I'll figure out the trail of dirt after the stream. So from Dugtrio and from the Dugtrio, it's Harry signing off. Thank you to everybody who came by, and I'm going to go enjoy my lunch. You take care, everyone. Bye-bye.